It's time for the View in Your Mirror podcast. I'm Katie Harms, and along with Lisa Rubin, we help you check in and curate the best possible you and the best view in your mirror. We share tips, tricks, and strategies from our 35 plus years in our respective industries. We talk about your day from morning to night and everything in between. We share our uniqueness, relish in our shared experiences. Along the way, we share conversation with fabulous people who give us their own thought-provoking insights. So come along as we help you hone the best view in your mirror. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning, Katie.
Oh my gosh, I just love technical problems, don't you?
Yeah, oh, they're my favorite.
Uh-huh.
They totally calm me. They make me just like Zen.
Oh, bravo for changing the trajectory.
Yeah.
Um,
So should everyone know that we've had technical problems prior to starting our podcast today. So we're going to just pretend it didn't happen and move on.
I think that's all you can do in life, right? Pretend it didn't. No, I mean, well, I guess
Well,
what's the focus, right? We can either let it bring us down, or we can use our creative minds to think in a more positive way.
okay, that works. That works. But guess what? We solved the problem.
We did solve the problem, and it helps to
Eventually.
have, yes, and it helps to have the thoughts of my lunch date at Rustica Bakery in my mind because I'm going to go try a Rachel.
No, you like the Reuben.
Well, I do like the Reuben, but I think I'm going to try the Rachel.
Seriously? Don't
Uh-huh.
say that to me. I'm too jealous because I can't eat it with you.
Well, they have this beautiful expanded menu at Wyzetta. I have to admit, I haven't been downtown Minneapolis to their location. I want to get there and see what they've got there. And of course, they have the Bidet Makaska location, the original, and then they have in Southdale. So you've got choices, you've got options. And I actually have to look at the menus in the other places too. But that's what I'm going to do. So yay, bravo, Rustica is always there for us. Well, not you because you're not here right now.
I
Na
know.
boo boo.
But when I come back, I will be
Yes.
going there. Trust me.
Yes, yes, yes. I will report. I will report. Hey, how creative. We talked about shifting our mindset and creativity and how we're looking at, problems. What about creativity in general? How creative are you? I mean, you are in a pretty creative field, I have to admit.
Well, I think that's where my creativity does come out is I made a career out of, I guess, being sort of creative, practical, but creative. Um, but that's where it ends.
That could
I
be a
mean, I'm
tagline.
all about
Practical
color.
creativity. Ooh, practical creativity. That could be a tagline for you.
It is. Look at
Oh.
my email. I don't have the word creativity, but I have practical.
Mhm.
But
Okay, then.
so I take that back. But yes, that's as far as it goes. But color is important to me and the way colors work with each other. So I guess that is my creative piece.
Well, and fabrics and
Yes, yes.
feel.
Feel.
What do you call that about fabrics? I
You
can't think of
mean
the word.
when you're looking at the yeah.
Like when you have different, like
No, no, no. I know.
leather
I
mixed with,
should know
I'm
the
just
word.
blanking on the word right
I'll
now.
remember it in the middle of our
Yeah,
podcast
of
and then
course
I'll
you,
tell you
as will
because
I.
we're old now, Katie.
That's
So
right.
a very
It'll be
common
amazing.
word that I use a lot, I can't remember right now.
Well, at least we can
The
joke about
hand,
it.
the hand.
The hand of the fabric. Thank
Oh
you.
my God.
Okay.
Yes.
Oof, we got through that part. And you know what? I love the fact that we can joke about being old because isn't it just relative? I guess creativity is relative too.
Yes.
What about
Yes.
paint by number? Could you do paint by number if you needed to?
Well, that was the only way that I could do it when people asked me to like draw or color. I liked paint by number but I would be upset about the color that they chose for the final picture.
Of course you would.
So sometimes as a rule follower, it was really hard for me not to follow the rule. But
Mm,
sometimes if the number one was red and I thought it should be blue,
mm.
I did change it.
You did?
Sometimes as I got older,
Oh,
not when I was younger.
okay, because what do you suppose that I did with paint by numbers?
You didn't even follow the numbers.
No,
You didn't even, you just thought,
exactly.
oh, that's cute. It's a one there.
Hmm.
Or, oh, I see a three, but I'm going to just do what I want. Is that true, Katie?
That is exactly it. That is exactly it.
That's true.
Lisa, talking about creativity, honestly, one of the most creative people I know is our guest. And I'm super
I,
excited to have her on because she has become a dear, dear friend. So let me tell you about her.
Thank you so much for that little
Oh,
opening there. I'll just let you keep on talking.
I will. Tyanne Hitchcock is a St. Paul, Minnesota native. I like the East Side girls, being an East Side girl, right?
That's
She's
right.
married to Ray Hitchcock and the mother of two children, Brooks and Elise. We should probably add adult children. She's also the proud grandmother to Ray the third, who is about the cutest kid. With a lifelong passion for nature and inspiring children's imaginations, Ty launched her first business in 2007, designing enchanting children's spaces, specializing in fairy garden rooms. This inspired her creation of Sticky Pixies wall fairy stickers, which eventually expanded into the full brand line of apparel sold in major US retailers. In 2017, she founded Ty Hitchcock Creates, a plant design company specializing in custom moss walls, there's my Minnesota accent coming in,
Hmm.
live, preserved, and faux plantings, along with unique green design installations for residential and commercial spaces. Her latest creative endeavor is Sticky Pixies, a fairy board game and an interactive magical dress-up game for ages 5 plus, is an extension of her love for nature and the creative process. Ty, I'm so
Yes,
glad you're
that
finally here.
thank you so much. It means so much to me to be with both of you. I love you both so much. And um I
and
just
I've gotten the opportunity to get to know you um,
mhm.
through we had an investment club together, and you were just so wonderful to be with all the time.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yes, I always looked forward to our meetings and where we could step aside and talk about just what's going on and just, in our everyday lives. So, yes, my introduction there, Katie, that's a mouthful, isn't it?
Well, I mean, you can't live life fully without creating a story of who you are. And that's what's wonderful about this. But yours has the interwoven threads of creativity, which Lisa and I talked a little bit about before you came on, that while both
Mhm.
of us have creativity in different ways, um, this is really fun because this is a different type of creativity. And I've
Mhm.
always I've always heard something to the effect of, the things you love to do, if you make them your business, you can learn to hate them. But at the same time, the other side of that is if you do the things you love, it'll never be work. So I feel like that's where
So
you
true.
fall on that.
It's so true. I remember coming back from the East Coast. Ray and I lived out there while he was playing football in the NFL and came back, plugged into a lovely little neighborhood, and started my creative process. Eventually, working with someone who worked with me in the retail sector, started our very first business called Refunk Your Junk, which was essentially, yes, I'm a true entrepreneur at heart. But that was a business where I actually took old junk, if you want to call it junk, lampshades, jugs, pottery, and just repurposed them. And that's actually when it all sort of began. But we were quickly told by our clients that they didn't want their product to be referred to as junk. So we took our business name and changed it to Morgan Evan Thorne, which is a combination of our kids' middle names. And that sort of was the very beginning of, starting that mural painting business, which was focused at that time on adult spaces, but eventually morphed into children's spaces exclusively. And that's really where it just launched like crazy. It happened so fast.
Well, the
I think.
timing, I think the timing was really good. The building industry was huge. You were
Mhm,
smart enough to get in with designers and builders who really were looking for that fun thing.
mhm.
I think you were in Minneapolis, St. Paul way back then, weren't you?
Well, yeah, so that was the year 2005. And this is how fast it happened. Once we turned our name over to Morgan Evan Thorne Decorative Painting, we actually met Jane Haugen Olsen, who is still with the magazine. And I
Yeah.
just saw her a couple of years ago at a big event. And I love her so much because she just has an eye and a keen sense of awareness about who's out there in the creative field. And we instantly clicked. And when she saw we did an ASID home in St. Paul, and we won the best and overall awards that they were giving for showcase homes back at that time. We weren't ASID certified designers. We took a kids' bedroom space over and won all of the awards. And from that point, Jane decided that, okay, I think this is cover worthy. And that's what launched what we did for many years. And a big part of that was the little whimsical fairy bedrooms.
You know what's really interesting, just as a little connection that I didn't even realize we had, is back then in 2005, we were winning awards for closet systems, and through Share Brothers. So you and I were working in the same spaces.
We were.
Crazy.
Isn't that just crazy?
And
Yeah. And,
yeah, we didn't know each other back then. Yep.
think about that. That was what, 21 years ago?
I know. When I think about that part of where I am right now versus when it all began, that was a long time ago. And the journey has been amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, I've had, we all kind of ebb and flow with what we're doing, but I will tell you overall, every chapter of my life that I've lived has led me to where I am right now. Who would have ever thought that doing very magical bedrooms and little custom beds and custom mirrors, we did it all, would lead me to green design? That's a whole different story.
Yeah.
But it's all nature driven, and that's where my heart is, and my love for kids and the creative process.
Yeah.
I
So,
love kids.
so resilience is a word that keeps popping into my mind. I don't know why,
Hmm.
but resilience with you. I feel like that, maybe knowing you now, having gotten to know you a little bit, but also you have to have resilience in a creative business because you need to look at the trends and what's happening, right?
Well, certainly. And, when we were going full throttle, and I say my business partner at that time, Christine with Morgan Evan Thorne, we were full throttle. We couldn't stay ahead of the business. And then so we talk about being resilient. The economy just,
2008.
started tumbling in 2008. And that's where doing the exclusive bedrooms for kids, it shut off like water. And it led me to working with a local company. And at that time, it was a very humbling experience because I've always been an entrepreneur. I've always done my own thing. And that gives me joy and complete happiness. That chapter of my life has led me to where I am today with my green design business, which has been here for 9 years already. I can't even believe it.
When did we do my moss walls? And by the way, so when I
Hmm.
say moss walls, and
Hmm.
I know we don't do we're looking at ways to try to potentially do our podcast on, but look what I have sitting here.
Oh,
Katie,
that's so
take a
sweet.
photo.
Oh, take a photo. Okay, let's see. I wonder if I can do a screenshot. Oh,
That was one of the first workshops I had ever done. And sadly, I don't do enough of them anymore. I don't have time. I love doing workshops.
I don't know if I'm gonna, okay, I'll do it another way.
No,
Oh, never
here.
mind. We're just doing a podcast right now. Hi.
I love that.
Um,
Okay,
yeah,
I
so
took a
I'm
very
I'm
funny
holding up
picture.
the most adorable moss wall. Ty
Mhm,
did a workshop with a bunch of women, and it was so
mhm.
fun. And we made little mini 12 by 12 moss walls,
Yep.
moss frames. And
Mhm,
I actually love it so much. And then I had Ty do, I think at the time, Ty, you said it
mhm.
was the largest ones you had ever done
And shipped.
and
Yes.
shipped
Uh-huh.
to our house in California. And
Uh-huh.
because they were so refreshing and lovely, and they're still hanging there today, and they're
Mhm.
incredible still to this day. And now you've gone
Thank
on to
you.
do. So you've found your way. You've ebbed and flowed into this,
Mhm.
and you have not been afraid of the shifts.
No. So to get back to your whole resilience, and you do know me at a deeper level, you're right. I have been resilient in the change that has impacted where I am today because you have to be. One trend can lead you to another. One may trickle out and slow down while the next is moving forward. So when you think about the green design business that I started with workshops thinking that I was going to also parlay food experiences in with it. I quickly realized that that was something that just didn't, that was not my space. And that's not, while I love the whole concept of it, that's not where I wanted to be. Did I focus on workshops? Yes, because it really super connected me with the community. I got to listen to different stories about, why do people come to this workshop and join in with me? Some wanted to learn how to do it themselves. Others wanted to just simply network and meet business-minded creatives like me. And others were complete friends supporting who I am from the very beginning. And you are definitely one of them from the very beginning
See,
and
Lisa, she
always.
didn't call me a creative.
Oh, you're a
But
creative. You have your own space for creativity. And Lisa, you as well. You think about that space of creativity. It's not just picking up a paintbrush and a green stem. It goes far beyond that. And
but I
you both
think,
know that.
yeah, but also what I think for all three of us,
Hmm.
but is that our passion for what we decided we wanted to do
Hmm.
is so strong that we figure out ways to do it in multiple different ways as we age, as the world changes, as things change. I mean, what I started out doing 43 years ago, I'm still, the backbone of it is the same, but I
Right.
have done it in very different ways in the last
Hmm.
43 years.
Hmm. And I do believe, and I agree with that. The reason you both have been successful and I have experienced my own success is really that we have stuck to our commitment of what we love, our passion,
Right, exactly.
and we've
You said
never
that
let it
better than
go.
I did.
We've never let it go.
No.
And what happens with that is a beautiful thing. We have our people who've watched us. I have so many friends and people who know me. They've watched this flow through on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on any sort of social media that I've been part of, and it gives you, and for people who are listening right now, it's so important. You're following your path and you're staying tried and true. You don't jump in and then abandon it. You're there, you're committed to it because it's your passion, and eventually it brings you great success, whatever that may be for you. And right now I am living a dream.
Well, and it's
I'm
like watching you navigate a river. You're
mhm,
always on the same river,
right.
but the topography changes. What you're seeing along the river path changes.
Hmm.
you may hit some waterfalls and you may hit some rocks that you need to navigate through, but
Mm-hmm.
you're always on this same river, and how that all connects together. And don't you think where you're at now, you can do the look back now and see
Mm-hmm.
how everything has interwoven.
There's no
Katie, that
question.
was so well
There's
said.
no question. I love that.
That
And
was
you're right.
impressive, Katie.
Yes, I totally, totally agree. And I'm impressed with that too, because I couldn't have said it any better.
Now, here's the difference between Katie and I, because we've been on that same river, like that analogy
Yes,
I love. Katie
yes.
might have stopped and hung from the tree. I was strapped in the boat,
Yes.
and someone had to tell me to look back.
Oh,
Correct? Correct?
yeah. Is
And
that how you
then
see it,
time
Katie?
stopping to pick the moss off the side and the
Exactly.
greenery.
Yes. And
I'm
I
str-
would be just watching her do that and
yeah.
deciding, how is that going to work now?
Yes.
Very quietly deciding. And Katie would have been off. We would have had to find her.
Yeah. I'm somewhat that way. I would be strapped in the boat because I do really appreciate the structure component to what I do. I couldn't manage all that I do without having the commitment to structure. But along with the creative side, I am also hanging from the tree and plucking the moss off the ground. And you'll find that in a group of people, Katie, probably more so because we'll see each other maybe a little bit more than you and I will, Lisa. I'm more of I'm a strong observer, and I've always been more of a strong observer, and I'm a good listener. I may not always, and so I think that just comes with my creative processing. I might not be, I'm listening, but I'm also observing my entire surrounding. For example, I could be in a restaurant with my family, and they're having a conversation, and I'm in it, but I'm really noticing the aesthetics of the restaurant and what they're missing or what they've done, and that I think is over the top. I'm noticing the really fine details, and so that sort of parlays into everything that I do daily. And the details are what really have made me um, be maybe a little bit more successful in this business.
I think that's a brilliant self-analysis, right?
Yeah. Wow. That's fantastic. Yeah.
That's a brilliant
Thank you.
self-analysis. The only thing I
Mhm.
can add to that I see in you, because I see all of that, but I also see that you are a woman who lifts other women up. And I mean that, and why that fits into your, because you notice that as well. So
Mhm.
it's your ability to say, okay, not my time right now, or not my
Mhm.
place right now. I'm gonna question, and I'm going to get to know, and then
Mhm.
I'm going to elevate others.
Mhm.
And then there's the time to elevate myself. You said it earlier, and
Right.
I know we've talked
Mhm.
about this before, and we all have kind of this, I don't really like talking about myself.
That's true. I
Oh,
don't, not very much.
but you are lovely at telling your story and why it all matters to you, which helps
Mhm.
somebody else. But you're also a person who sits in their spot of observation beautifully. Does that make sense?
It does to me. Yes, and I appreciate hearing that. That's very kind. I
But I
do,
think
and I
that
believe that.
other people listening can relate to what you're saying, Katie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
Because
mean,
there's
or
Absolutely.
think about
going to
what you're
come a time.
saying, or think about what
Mhm.
you're saying.
Yeah, there's going
Mhm.
to come a time where um I think that's all we can do for women, is to be able to hold
Mhm.
each other up and learn from all of our differences. And it's a give and a take in any relationship. It's a give and a take with your kids. It's a give and a take with your family. It's a give and a take
Mhm.
in the friendships that you put together.
Mhm.
And
That's so true.
and I think the key is, Ty, you learn from all of them.
I do. I do. And I make an effort to do that. Right now, as it relates to business and family and friendships, I've really had to keep a focus. And it's been because I've had to, and it has really, I see, the pocket of family, which is, as you know, the backstory to everything that I've experienced the last year. My husband had a heart attack. My mom's husband passed away. I have a grandchild. I have a daughter who moved to Chicago. Um, we're all in some way and measure dealing with this, and your business is growing tenfold, right? So how do we, as women who are really the glue and the center point to our families, we keep everything moving forward. How do we handle this? Well, sometimes you have to keep what are they called? The blinders on.
Yeah.
And then you get through. I feel like I'm muddling through it right now.
You're the racehorse. You're the racehorse.
I,
You're in the
I,
race.
I've had my both children share that with me. Mom, we don't know what we would do without you. And, that brings tears to my eyes because sometimes I think to myself, I don't know how I just got through that, but they see it in a different light and it's a positive light. So that's all that matters to me.
Well, and don't you, I really, I mean, I'm at the point where I learn from my kids now.
Oh, there's no question. No question.
I
I
mean, they
have,
become resources in a different way. I guess maybe
Mhm.
that's it. We learn from, if we're smart enough, we're learning from everybody that we meet. And
I
Mhm.
agree with that. I mean, I definitely
do.
have learned a lot from my kids.
Mhm.
But also I think, and I say this all the time, our podcast, like every guest we've had on,
Yeah.
I've learned something from, which has
Mhm.
made me who I am today. Like if I
Yeah.
had not done this podcast with you,
Mhm.
Katie, it's going on 6 years now. I don't
Mhm.
know if I'd be the same person I am today
Yeah, it really
because
opens your
I don't know
eyes.
because I don't know any other way.
I'm
But
sorry, I just can't help myself. Thank God, Lisa.
You guys are adorable together, and I
but
really,
what I'm saying is,
yeah.
and I think I think about that all the time with my clients and my work,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people have called me their secret weapon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because once a woman takes her clothes off,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's virtual or I'm with them,
Mm-hmm.
everything, all the boundaries come off. And I
Mm-hmm.
know that. I learned that years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of their secret person that fortunately or unfortunately they come to with me for everything.
And I feel so
And
comfortable with you. Well, you have that
well,
sort of personality and approach, though. I mean, it
Well,
makes
okay,
sense to
well,
me.
let's go. Let's talk about that because
Mm-hmm.
honest to God, I've had friends say Lisa scares me. Now, I do think that what has happened through our conversations and through what we've done with this podcast, that's to me been very magical, is that we, again, going back to we've heard women's stories, we've realized, Lisa, you have said from the beginning, everyone's the same. All of us women are the same. We're thinking the same
100%.
things. We're ruminating over the same things. We're worrying about the same things. But while saying that and not, blustering from like, I'm not like anybody else, it's not that.
Mm-hmm.
Within the sameness, there's all of the beautiful differences, the
Mm-hmm.
different threads that make all of us different. And
Mm-hmm.
we want to be different. We want to be our unique and different self. And what this podcast has done is allowed women who normally wouldn't share themselves in such a way to do that. So we can all feel comfortable
Right.
within that. And I do think
Mm-hmm.
your intensity, Lisa, to me has softened as
Mm-hmm.
we've gone through this, but the core of who you are will never change. And that is perfect.
Well, when I
Well,
listen to your
well, thank
podcasts,
you, Katie. I mean,
yeah, that's lovely.
you have brought out other
Mhm.
sides in me, but it comes down to a trust level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
they're in, and knowing you too, Ty, and
yeah.
you've watched us from the beginning. You're
Mm-hmm.
one of the, you are one of the people that is always so great about giving comments and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's it too. As you watch things evolve, you've watched us evolve, and and seeing the beauty in that, just like I've watched you evolve and seen the beauty in that. And that's the magic.
Well, there's one word that comes to mind when and I've listened to several of your podcasts. It's that people understand that working with both of you in a situation like this or off the side in daily work, they can trust you. Trust, ladies. These two women, Katie and Lisa, are two people that you can trust with every word you share. So I
Well,
think
thank
that's an
you. I
important
mean,
thing.
I thank you, but,
Thank you.
and you
Well,
can, and you can.
Well, I
For
know
sure.
that from listening to the podcasts when you pull out your various guests, your guests oftentimes go back a long way. Lisa, people that you've made connections with in your business, you can tell there's a deep trust there between you and that person. And that's what you and I haven't had the chance to talk a lot about that, but when I listen to your podcasts, I know that from the podcasts. Katie, I know it without saying. I've seen you in a lot of different scenarios and had lots of great conversations with you. And, obviously, you're two amazing people. And I'm happy to be part of your circle.
Thanks, Ty. Thanks.
Yeah.
Ty. We're happy to talk to you. Let's get back to you. I mean, we want to
Yeah.
get back to
Oh
you.
my
I want to
gosh.
learn a little more about
Well,
you.
no, I think it's good to talk about that. And, it all leads us to where we are today. And yeah, I have a fun story to share. And your listeners will probably, take parts of this for themselves or maybe even for their adult kids growing up or the kids who are still in school. I am a creative people. I'm an artist. I'm a designer. I am a game maker. I am a plant designer. How did I get to do all of this? How do you know about all of this? Did you go to school for that? No, I did not go to school for any of what I'm doing right now. And that's not to say I didn't go to school. I did go to school at the University of Minnesota. That's where my husband and I both went. But what I do, and that certainly has helped me with what I'm doing business related, but everything that I'm doing on a creative line is the passion to want to learn about it. And if you have that passion, for example, when I think of my game board, I didn't know anything about designing a game. I just had all the great artwork that I could share and splice and create, adding a few graphics here and there, understanding the balance of design, and then hiring the right person in graphic design to put it all together so it could go to print. Has been the biggest journey for me. But I will say, I got tears the day the game arrived. My samples arrived. And it was just a special day for me.
Well, and it is, when I think of all the things that you've done, you've put them all together in this game. It's got the creativity. It's got things that you have used from your Sticky Pixies that was your business back, 2007?
2007. Mm-hmm.
So,
But the game. Okay, so let's go through that process. I don't know where you're at. Like,
Yeah.
is it ready for production
So
now?
everything is here. Production is done. Games have arrived. I had my samples roughly 4 months ago. And once I approved them, I worked through Alibaba, which is in China. That's just the way it is right now, people, because when you're trying to get a game or anything manufactured, in the US, unfortunately, they want you to commit to a 10,000 unit minimum. And I'm not there. This is my little baby startup. But that's a different story. I just got all of my games roughly 3 or 4 weeks ago. And in the mix of keeping my green design business going, which is crazy busy, I'm trying to figure out the marketing components of my Sticky Pixies fairy board game for kids ages 5 and up. And that's kind of where I am right now. I have a room full of boxes and games to sell. And I have a vision of it the way I want it to go down. I'm not in any hurry to sell through the games right now because I want the marketing component to be right. And I want to sort of interject myself into the community with it because I do think there's something there. As it relates to working with kids, maybe in situations where I can, I love connecting with children. And if I can do that through my game board, I will do that. So I'm trying to figure that out.
I love that. I think that's one of the benefits of having a passion project. This is really a passion project. You have
It
your
is.
project that makes you money. Not that you don't want this to cash flow, right? But you're looking at it in a different way, and how can you more holistically bring it to market in a more meaningful way? So bravo to
Right.
you for that. I have seen the game. I
Yes. My first customer.
received the game, and my grandchildren have played it and are playing it, and it is so fun and just so inventive. So there's that part of it.
Mhm.
But and go back to, because you're talking about how are you going through this marketing process? You're back in Minneapolis St. Paul Magazine.
I am this month, the spring issue of Home and Design for Minneapolis St. Paul Magazine, which was just a complete, surprise for me. It's been a long time since I've worked with MSP Mag. They saw my Instagram page, which I try to post on that every day. It's just pure, genuine marketing by me. That's another component of what I do every day. But yes, they reached out to me and said, we'd like to do a feature on you. And can we have our editor call you? Can we set up a photo shoot? And I was, yes, 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 let's do it. And it turned out so wonderful. I'm so happy about it.
So
It's
is
in the
this
issue.
about is this about your moss walls, or is
Yes.
this about the game?
Yeah, so we're kind of shifting here, aren't we? So I do two different things. I have a green design business, Hitchcock Creates,
Yeah,
and then off the side, I've launched Sticky Pixies, which you
right.
can find at stickypixies.com, TyHitchcockCreates.com as well. But yes, the article is on home and design, and they wanted to feature me for the green design ideas that are out there in the market right now, all of the various trends that are hitting strongly. I do focus probably 70 to 80% of my business is commercial related with my green design business. I design for a lot of restaurants, hospitals, event spaces, living communities, commercial spaces, and lobbies. That's a lot of what I do. And I work with many of the biggest architectural firms in the Twin Cities and some of the most amazing interior designers locally. It's really kind of cool.
And where do you do your production of this?
I do everything in my downstairs level of my home. And I'm
Oh,
actually at a point now where I think, Ty, you have to probably get a space because I have probably 6 different projects going down there right now. In fact, my assistant is down there working on another restaurant design right now. We just delivered 28 28 in length by 6 feet. So lots of square footage of moss wall to a home in Prior Lake just last week. That loosened up my studio space downstairs. But
28 feet?
yeah, one moss wall, 6 feet tall by 16 feet long.
oh
And
my,
then the other moss wall that we put in the main entrance of this amazing home, 11 feet tall by 48 inches wide. It's
wait a minute,
stunning.
hold on, time out. How do you get that through your doors?
Yeah, so you have the frames when they're this big, you have the frames already pre-attached to the wall. They're custom made. And in
Oh,
this case, Highmark Builders came in and brought in, they made a custom black metal frame. And I need essentially a shadow box, if you will, attached to the wall with the framing of choice from the client. And my panels, my moss panels come in sections. So we can
oh,
ship
got
them
it.
in a truck. And once we get them up and in place on the wall, we hide the seams with the product. So you can't tell that they're in panels. So that project itself probably took 2 months to complete because it's so detailed. And of course, that's the wait time for all of the product coming in from across seas. It's beautiful. And
So you're up on ladders, right?
yeah, yes, but I have my installation person comes in and handles all of that stuff for me.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm up on the ladder, but for the most part, I have a crew that will handle it for me.
And even that, talk about that a little bit because assembling
Hmm.
those people, that's kind of very,
Hmm.
not kind of, that is critically important.
It is. And so the two people that work with me primarily are from the past business I was with, and they're an integral part of why I have experienced such great success in the mass quantities of businesses that are coming to me. They bring such a level of knowledge. They're experts in what they do, and we're a team. I've known them forever. I've known my assistant since the first day I walked into the business I worked for, which was in 2011. And my installer person, same thing. Been almost the same amount of time since
That's
yeah,
awesome. It's
yeah.
important to have those people. Really, that's the glue because you can think it up, you can create it. Okay,
Hmm.
let's talk about something. What happens when it doesn't go exactly the way that you want it to go?
Hmm. Um, so as it relates to, let's talk about the one of the latest moss wall installs that I did. It's such a process when you're dealing with, so this is out of state. I did a hospital in North Dakota just the front of last year. And without going into too much detail, you're working with various project managers, not only locally, but at their construction site in the state. And if they're not all talking to one another, it can go wrong. And in this case, the dimensions that were shared with me from the Twin Cities location or hub was not shared with the person in North Dakota. And so when I came out, I mean, we're in the big truck driving these panels 5 hours north to do the installation, which was a 3-day installation. I mean, it's a massive installation. It's on my Instagram page at Ty Hitchcock Creates. You can look at it. It's one of my first pins. It's beautiful. It's the biggest project I've ever worked on. But when we got there and we got to the second level of this floor to ceiling installation, we were short by 11 feet. And the project
That's not
manager,
inches, that's feet.
yes. And those are the anxiety or nightmare moments you think of as a designer, a project manager, a sourcer. Um, I do it all. I juggle all of the balls for my business. And when you're thinking of doing the installation for someone, especially out of state, you want that to go flawless, right? And it didn't happen because there was miscommunication. So what do you do? That was your question, Katie. You have to prove that they both have miscommunicated to one another. One said, no, I did it right. The other said, no, I did it right. And they come together and you have to go make another 11 feet of moss wall and bring it back up there. So that's what we did. You solve it. I've really never had outside of that, I've never had to problem solve anything that was too difficult to figure out. I've been really fortunate, but that goes back to your, being incredibly in tune with what your projects are
And
and
detailed and
and
detailed.
managing it. I would say I'm a very detail-oriented person. It's critical in this business at the level that I'm operating right now.
I often wonder if we did like brain analysis on you are probably so balanced. I'm probably so far one direction.
No,
Lisa,
I
you're
have
the
my
other.
moments.
I don't know what mine is. It's not balanced right now.
No, no, I
Well,
think a lot of times it's just about having, and one of your questions, Katie, that you sent to me, what do you do daily to get ready for your day, right? It's sometimes we miss figuring it all out. I don't have the time. I don't want to sit up and write out what I need to get ready for the next day. I'm too tired. When I do that, my day, when I wake up, I'm a little discombobulated, but I get it going. It's just, it comes with it. Sometimes we just can't stay in tune with our structure.
so
That's how it
you have
is.
a system. You have a system that works
I
for
do.
you.
I do.
But don't you think also, Ty, when you say that, because I understand what you're saying,
Yep.
is the passion we have for what we do in our professional life keeps
Yes.
us focused.
There's no question.
And when I don't have work on my mind, I'm not as productive with everything else I'm doing.
I would say that's the same for me too.
Mhm.
It's very
It's
true.
like people will say to me now, well, Lisa, when are you going to retire? And I'm like, what? Like, I haven't even thought about it
Same.
because
You love
that
what you do so much.
I do.
But
Mhm.
we learned from Lori Barghini of Lori and Julia fame.
Great podcast, by the way.
Thank you. Well, she talked about rewirement. It's not retirement, it's
Mhm.
rewirement. Ty, nobody has rewired better than you.
Well, Katie,
Oh,
we did a live event about this.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, and Minneapolis.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
you
our
did the
third chapter.
florals for our one
Yes.
and only, at
Yes.
this
Yes, you
point, one
did
and
do our
only
Yes.
live
florals.
event. Yes.
Yes.
My friend Andrea joined in on that and she said it was truly exceptional and she waits for the next one. So
Oh,
that's,
well,
yeah.
Well,
I
I
know
know
it's a lot to put those together.
that was a little more work than we anticipated, but now we know all the things that we will maybe encounter, and
Yes.
we aren't saying no, we just have
Right.
to figure it out.
but the thing that was great about
True.
that, and I think Ty, that goes back to you, is that we learned how to do that, but we also brought in the right people to help us do that.
You
And
did.
Yes,
they, in a way,
yes,
I feel like they magically appeared.
Yeah.
yes. Well,
Mhm.
I think that our third person that was at our event who spoke, Julie Okol,
Yeah.
Mhm.
was a huge help
Yeah.
for that
And
event.
if we
Mhm.
hadn't been sitting next to Julie at another event that you and I went to,
Yeah, it's just that's how it all
that would have
works.
never happened. So that was
Never
the
happened.
right thing at that time. So I do think it's taking advantage. It's being aware
Mhm.
of what's around you. It's talking to people. It's learning about people. And you've just,
That's your awareness. That's your awareness for both of you. You knew that Julie, in some capacity, could fill in that, I don't want to call it a gap, but that space that you knew she was good at. You knew.
actually, I got to give Lisa credit for that because I just thought
Mhm.
Julie was another really interesting person that I was meeting and that I wanted to get to know more about. And
Mhm.
Lisa, uncharacteristically, was
I
like,
knocked
we
Katie off
should
her
do an
chair.
event. It came out of her mouth like, we should do an event. What are you talking? Right?
Yeah.
Am I right,
Yeah.
Lisa?
Yeah, no,
Mhm.
but again, and we haven't talked about this with you, Ty, but I ride on gut. That's how I ride. Katie
Yes.
knows that. And we were just finishing our podcast and something in my gut, like this warm feeling, which has happened to me a few times in my business that have been successes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got to say something. And when I said it to her right after we finished our podcast. And I wish I could have taken a picture of Katie's face because she was dumbfounded.
Yes,
But guess what? We did it. So
we did. And I'm so glad we did it. It was incredible. And whether we do another one or not,
It's a lot.
we'll see.
And
I
you'll want to, but you have to be ready for it.
Yeah.
Because it's very, I don't want to say it's a lot because that sounds like a negative. It can be a lot,
It can
but
be.
if
Yeah.
it just takes a lot of time. So when I say a lot, it takes a lot of your time. Do we love it? Absolutely. It's about, and for both you, Lisa, and Katie, you both, that's what people are craving. They want to see you. They want to connect with two people who really understand what they're doing and share it with the
Well,
community.
hey,
It's huge.
we've bamboozled them in understanding that what we're doing. No, that's very kind. Thank you, Ty. Thank you.
Yeah, it's true.
Listen, this has been remarkable. Truly, you are remarkable. And
Thank you.
I love your heart and your passion, and that so beautifully comes through. What's your superpower?
I would say, really, really having the ability to connect with people. I really love taking the time with people one-on-one. I like to super connect in a way that is, I don't know, it's genuine. Not that it's not genuine when you're in a big group. You have a bigger opportunity to share your genuine thoughts with someone. And so that means a lot to me. I think that's something that has really carried me through my business and in my life.
Beautiful.
I have one more question that Katie doesn't know I'm going to ask, but I have to ask you this. What would you tell your younger self if you could now?
It's a great question.
Don't wait for someone else to lead you. You lead yourself. You lead yourself, and they will follow.
Great answer.
Great answer.
Mm-hmm.
Great advice. Great advice. Well, Ty, this time has flown. As you know, we do a nonprofit spotlight,
Mm-hmm.
and you picked NFL Caring for Kids, their youth support programs. Talk to me about
Right.
that. I know you've been involved in this organization a long time.
So my husband, Ray Hitchcock, has been involved with NFL Alumni Caring for Kids for many, many years. We're still part of it, although we didn't go this past year to the gala. We've been part of it for 25 plus years. And I like it certainly because it supports youth support programs. And they commit monies to children's programs where, Toys for Tots. They fill in those voids for the financial part of it for programs that need help. I have been part of it because I believe in that super connection with the community. And also, my husband played in the NFL, but I donated my time to the program with my design. I did all of the green and floral design for it for many, many, many years. And it was a lot of fun. I'm not part of it that way anymore. I don't have that time component, but it certainly opened the doors to lots of opportunities with people in various businesses across the Twin Cities that volunteer. They partner with the NFL. American Diabetes Association is a partner of the NFL Alumni Caring for Kids, which is dear to my heart because I have a son who is a type 1 diabetic. So that's a good program to be part of, and I appreciate them very much.
Thank you, Ty. That's beautiful. And for anyone who wants information on that, it is nfl-caring-for-kids/, and it'll get you right there. Or just Google NFL Caring for Kids.
It'll pop right up. It'll pop right up.
It'll pop right up and you can see all the partner. I love when organizations partner to expand their reach and do good for so many others. Now, you've mentioned it before, but if people want to get a hold of you and learn more about what you do.
Right. Please go to, for my green design business, go to Ty Hitchcock Creates. You'll find me. And if you're interested in my Sticky Pixies fairy game, you can go to my website, stickypixies.com. And I also have Instagram pages for both. Sticky.pixies is my Instagram page. And it'll link you into my website if you're looking for a cute little Easter gift or something like that for your grandbabies or your kids.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ty. And if anyone wants more information on Lisa and I, go to theviewinyourmirror.com and you can see all the incredible people we have featured over the years and talked to. And Ty now joins part of the family. We're so happy to have you. Yay. And don't forget to pay a little visit to Beam Light Sauna in St. Louis Park, where if you use the code VIEW, you will get a 2-for-1. We love it there. And I think as I sit, the beautiful thing about doing this by Zoom is it's almost like looking at your best friends through a mirror. In a way, we're looking at ourselves through a mirror, and then you're seeing what other people can see, and it brings such joy. And that's what we want when we all look at ourselves in the mirror. We want to see that joy. We want to know that we're putting out into the world the beauty that lives within us. And so until next time, you are the best you, and you project the best you every day when you go out into the world. So thank you, Ty.
Thank you both.
Thank you, Ty.
Thanks for having me be part of this. I really enjoyed it and appreciate both of you so much.
Thank you.